Hey guys, I'm Jalapeno here with another episode of Jalapeno Painting. On today's project, we're going to be repairing and repainting this area here on the door. Not really sure what happened here, but the homeowners are getting ready to sell the house and they just want this area looking better. And so we're not going to paint the entire door, just that left panel where the door handle is. So what you're going to want to do is remove the door handle and the deadbolt. We're going to be using a roller to paint, so I do recommend taking all the hardware out. It'll just make it easier to roll the paint and it's going to end up looking way better. You're going to want to use your putty knife in case there's big chunks or anything on the door. That way you could kind of scrape them off. After you're done with that, you're going to want to get 80 grit sanding paper. Be careful because 80 grit sanding paper is super rough, so it's going to cause a lot of scratches. But no worries, because what you're going to do next is you're going to get some Ready Patch. I know a lot of people like using that pink putty. Me personally, I like the Ready Patch. You could use whatever putty you want. And then look, I apply a thick coat of the Ready Patch, but then I use my 6-inch to kind of just remove a lot of the excess putty. I always recommend you do super thin coats. That way it dries faster. And then look, I'm using my heat gun to kind of just speed the process up a little bit more. I ended up doing 2 thin coats of Ready Patch. And after it dries, you're going to want to sand it smooth. Just remember to use 220 grit sanding paper. You don't want to use that 80 grit because it's just going to cause more scratches. And now what you're going to want to do is prep the door for paint. If you have 2 colors on the door, I recommend you use blue tape and caulk. That way you're going to have nice straight lines. And it's going to end up looking really good because whoever painted the door before didn't use this method, right? With the blue tape and caulk. And it just didn't look the greatest. So by doing this, it's just going to create a seal between the tape and the paint. And that paint's not going to bleed through. Also, always have a wet rag when caulking. That way you don't make a big old mess. And yes, I bought a whole gallon for just this little touch up here. Sherwin-Williams won't sell me just a quart. I'm not sure what's up with that. But it's really not that big of a deal. But anyways, now it's time to paint. I'm only going to use my brush here to cut in the corner. And then I'm just going to use the foam roller to paint the panel from top to bottom. The door has been painted before, so it does have this orange peel kind of texture to it. And I usually apply Floetrol to the paint, but in this case, I want that orange peel texture, so I didn't apply any Floetrol. This is just going to help match the door a little bit better. And this is probably one of my favorite parts where I peel the tape and reveal that nice straight line. Look at that. If I wouldn't have applied caulking, that paint would have just bled through. It would have looked like little spider legs coming through. I don't know if it's just me, but that really bothers me when that happens. You'll probably have to do a couple more coats of paint after you prime. But once you're done painting, let it dry 100% before you start putting the hardware because you don't want to put this stuff on wet paint. And that's pretty much it. If you ever want to get any of the tools or materials that I used here in this video, just go to my Amazon storefront. It'll be in the link in my bio or video description. They are affiliate links, so I do benefit monetarily. It's a great way to support the channel and I really appreciate it. But anyways, the homeowners loved how this door turned out and that's pretty much it. Jalapeno Solutions. Boom.